What if I told you that the difference between financial struggle and financial freedom isn't about how much money you make, but about 5 simple rules that a curious boy from Omaha discovered decades ago? While most people chase get-rich-quick schemes and panic at every market dip, there's a man who built a fortune of over $100 billion using principles so simple, they seem almost boring. Yet these same principles have consistently outperformed Wall Street's brightest minds for over 6 decades. Warren Buffett didn't start with privilege. He didn't have insider information. He didn't even graduate from his dream business school. What he had was something far more powerful, a set of life rules that transformed his relationship with money forever. These aren't just investing tips. They're psychological frameworks that rewire how you think about wealth, risk, and opportunity. And here's what most people don't realize. These same rules that made Buffett billions can work for anyone, regardless of how much money you're starting with. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact mindset shift that separates wealthy thinkers from everyone else. You'll discover why most people's financial strategies are actually sabotaging their future. And most importantly, you'll learn the 5 life rules that can completely transform your financial destiny. But here's the thing. If you're serious about changing your financial future, if you truly want to break free from money stress and build real wealth, then prove it to yourself right now. Hit that like button and subscribe, because the people who take action on small commitments are the same people who build lasting wealth. Warren Buffett's story didn't begin with success. It began with a young boy who felt different, obsessed with numbers while other kids played outside. Growing up in Depression-era Omaha, he watched his family struggle with financial uncertainty, and something deep inside him refused to accept that as his destiny. At just 11 years old, he took his entire life savings, $114, and bought his first stock. But here's where the fairy tale ends and reality kicks in. That investment taught him his first brutal lesson about emotions and money. The stock price dropped immediately after he bought it. Fear consumed him. He sold quickly, making a tiny profit, only to watch helplessly as the stock soared afterward. He had missed out on massive gains because he let fear drive his decisions. This pattern continued through his teenage years. Despite his early entrepreneurial success selling chewing gum and delivering newspapers, Buffett struggled with the psychological side of investing. He made emotional decisions. He second-guessed himself. He felt the same gut-wrenching anxiety about money that millions of people feel today. Then came the rejection that could have destroyed his dreams entirely. Harvard Business School, his dream school, rejected his application. Imagine being turned away from the institution you believed would unlock your future. Most people would have given up. Most people would have accepted that maybe they weren't cut out for the world of finance. But this rejection became the catalyst for everything that followed. Sometimes our biggest disappointments redirect us toward our greatest opportunities. In that moment of rejection, Buffett made a decision that would reshape his entire approach to wealth and success. Instead of dwelling on what he couldn't control, he focused on what he could. He discovered Benjamin Graham, the legendary value investor, and enrolled in Columbia Business School specifically to study under him. This wasn't just changing schools. This was changing his entire philosophy about money, value, and human psychology. Graham didn't just teach investment techniques. He taught a way of thinking that removed emotion from financial decisions. He taught patience. He taught discipline. Most importantly, he taught that the market's daily fluctuations were noise, not signals. Under Graham's mentorship, Buffett realized something profound. Wealth isn't built by being smarter than everyone else or by predicting the future. Wealth is built by following consistent principles, especially when everyone else is doing the opposite. This realization transformed him from an anxious young investor into the calm, rational decision-maker we know today. Rule number 1. Think long-term. Here's the truth most investors never grasp: time is more powerful than intelligence. While day traders frantically buy and sell, desperately trying to catch every market movement, Buffett discovered something revolutionary. The longer you hold quality investments, the more the odds shift in your favor. Consider this story. In 1988, Buffett bought Coca-Cola stock when everyone said the company was overvalued. Critics called him crazy. The media questioned his judgment. But Buffett saw something different. He saw a brand that would still be valuable in 20, 30, even 50 years. Today, that investment is worth over $20 billion. The emotional insight here is profound. Long-term thinking removes the stress of daily market volatility. When you invest for decades, not days, you stop checking your portfolio obsessively. You stop making fear-based decisions. You start sleeping better at night. Rule number 2. Only invest in what you understand. Buffett famously avoided tech stocks during the dot-com bubble while everyone else was getting rich quick. People mocked him. They called him old-fashioned. They said he didn't understand the new economy. Then the bubble burst, and those same critics lost everything. This rule isn't about being conservative. It's about being honest with yourself. How many people invest in things they don't truly understand because they're afraid of missing out? How many chase trends instead of studying businesses? When you only invest in what you understand, you make rational decisions instead of emotional ones. You can evaluate whether a company will thrive in 5 years, not just 5 minutes. This simple rule protects you from devastating losses and helps you recognize real opportunities when everyone else sees problems. Rule number 3, master your emotions. The stock market is basically a voting machine that reflects human emotions: fear, greed, hope, despair. But Buffett realized that emotions are often wrong signals for investment decisions. When others panic, he sees opportunity. When others become greedy, he becomes cautious. During the 2008 financial crisis, while millions of people sold their investments in terror, Buffett invested $15.5 billion. He bought when blood was in the streets because he understood that temporary panic creates permanent opportunities for those who can control their emotions. This emotional mastery extends beyond investing. It's about developing the mental strength to do what's right for your future, even when it feels uncomfortable in the present. Most wealthy people aren't smarter than everyone else. They're just better at managing their emotions around money. Rule number 4. Live below your means. Here's something that shocks people. Buffett still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Despite being worth over $100 billion, he drives older cars and eats at McDonald's. This isn't about being cheap. It's about understanding that lifestyle inflation is wealth's greatest enemy. Every dollar you don't spend on unnecessary luxuries is a dollar that can compound for decades. When you live below your means, you're not depriving yourself. You're buying your future freedom. You're choosing long-term wealth over short-term status symbols. This mindset shift is emotional as much as it is financial. It's about deriving satisfaction from growing net worth rather than from impressing others. It's about understanding that true wealth is having options, not having expensive things. Rule number 5. Never stop learning. Buffett reads for hours every day. At 93 years old, he's still studying businesses, analyzing opportunities, and expanding his understanding of the world. This commitment to continuous learning isn't just about staying informed. It's about staying relevant and making better decisions over time. The moment you think you know enough about money and investing is the moment you start making costly mistakes. Markets change. Opportunities evolve. New challenges emerge. But if you're constantly learning, you're constantly improving your ability to build wealth. This rule also protects you from overconfidence, one of the most dangerous emotions in finance. When you approach every situation as a student, you ask better questions, make fewer assumptions, and avoid costly blind spots. I want to hear from you right now. Which of these 5 rules challenges you the most? Is it thinking long-term when you want quick results? Is it living below your means in a world that celebrates expensive lifestyles? Drop a comment and share your biggest money mindset struggle. Your honesty might help someone else realize they're not alone in this journey. So how do you actually apply these rules starting today? Let's break it down into actionable steps that will begin transforming your financial mindset immediately. First, shift your time horizon. Instead of checking investment accounts daily, commit to reviewing them monthly or quarterly. Set financial goals for 5, 10, and 20 years from now. Write them down. When you feel tempted to make emotional money decisions, ask yourself, how does this serve my 20-year vision? Second, before making any significant financial decision, honestly assess your understanding. Can you explain the investment to someone else in simple terms? Do you understand the risks and potential outcomes? If not, either educate yourself first or walk away. This single habit will save you from countless financial disasters. Third, develop emotional awareness around money. Notice when fear or greed influences your decisions. Create a simple rule. Wait 24 hours before making any investment decision driven by strong emotions. During that time, ask yourself what Warren Buffett would do in this situation. Fourth, audit your lifestyle expenses. Track where every dollar goes for 1 month. Then ask yourself, does this expense buy me long-term financial freedom or just short-term satisfaction? Start redirecting money from unnecessary expenses toward investments that will compound over time. Finally, commit to financial education. Read 1 investing book per month. Follow respected financial educators. Join communities of like-minded people building wealth. Remember, every piece of knowledge you gain improves your decision-making for the rest of your life. The key is consistency, not perfection. Start with 1 rule and master it before moving to the next. Small, consistent actions compound just like investments do. Imagine your life 5 years from now if you actually follow these rules. Picture yourself making calm, rational financial decisions while others panic around you. See yourself building wealth steadily and consistently, not through luck or speculation, but through proven principles. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from living below your means, knowing you have options and financial security. Envision the confidence you'll feel when you truly understand your investments instead of hoping and guessing. This transformation doesn't require you to be smarter than Warren Buffett. It just requires you to think like him. These 5 rules have created more lasting wealth than any get-rich-quick scheme ever could. They work because they're based on human psychology and mathematical reality, not wishful thinking. Your financial future isn't determined by where you started. It's determined by the principles you follow from this moment forward. Thank you for investing these minutes in your financial education. If this video gave you a new perspective on wealth building, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your sharing could literally change someone's financial destiny. Make sure you're subscribed because next week, we're diving deep into another legendary investor's story, Ray Dalio's principles that helped him build the world's largest hedge fund. You'll discover the contrarian thinking patterns that separate the ultra-wealthy from everyone else. Don't miss it. Remember, every wealthy person started exactly where you are right now, with a decision to think differently about money. Today could be the day that changes everything.